Avengers Infinity War, the first part of the conclusion to the 10-year journey that was the MCU. There was no other experience than the amount of community hype leading up to Infinity War's release. Once Infinity War released, it was one of the most annoying experiences of my life trying not to hear spoilers. It wasn't just online I had to worry about. Almost everyone at my school was inconsiderate of others and didn't dare hesitate before talking about it out loud. And I didn't end up seeing Infinity War in theaters until a month after its release, so you can imagine that I knew quite a lot going in. That didn't stop me from enjoying the movie though, and I had a nice time watching it with my dad who also enjoyed himself. So how did Infinity War manage to be worth the hype? Well, let's find out. Thanos, who has been being built up for several movies now, and has now begun his hunt for all of the Infinity Stones. Now it's up to Earth's mightiest heroes to stop the Mad Titan before it's too late. And yeah, that's basically all the movie is. The Avengers preventing Thanos from collecting the Infinity Stones. And it's pretty fun to watch. The movie makes the simplistic plot setup really interesting by having interesting dynamics involving every character and having some really awesome crossovers. A personal highlight of mine was seeing the Guardians of the Galaxy meet the Avengers. Overall, the plot is handled perfectly, and come on, that ending is amazing. However, the pacing is literally Age of Ultron. It's good, but not good at the same time. It's good because every scene is entertaining and it's never a boring scene in this 2 hour and 40-minute long movie. It's bad because it's a little too fast for its own good. See, there's so many events unfolding, you never have time to breathe, and because of the lack of slow scenes, you barely get any intriguing character moments or depth. And while it's unfair to ask a nearly 3 hour long movie that's trying to wrap up a 10-year journey to do that, it's still a slight problem. Because of the fast pacing, I saw a bunch of crazy events unfolding, but I never felt any of them as much as I should have because there's no room to breathe. And after a crazy scene, another crazy scene happens. Infinity War did its best, but in my in-game review, I'm going to explain why I hold this against the movie. As for the tone, the majority of the movie is surprisingly lighthearted. Don't get me wrong, the movie still has plenty of dark moments, but the first two acts are filled with a lot of humor. And the weirdest part is that it doesn't feel out of place. The movie balances the lighthearted scenes and dark scenes pretty well. While I personally prefer the movie that have been more serious in the first two acts, the overall tone is perfectly balanced, as all things should be. As for the characters, I know I already spoiled it, but they don't get any development or interesting insight. Don't get me wrong, they're still the lovable selves, but they do work well off each other. But I didn't feel these characters to be put in terrifying situations. I can only see them because this movie moves so fast. As for the villain, Thanos, he's easily the best villain in the MCU, no questions asked. What can I say that hasn't been said already? He's intimidating, he looks awesome, he can take on multiple Avengers at once, he's competent, and he's compelling. It's actually insane Thanos is the only one who gets any depth in this movie. But he is. And that makes him not only the most interesting character in the movie, but the most interesting villain in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. Other than the Incredible Hulk, there hasn't been a single MCU movie with bad performances, and 10 years later, Avengers Infinity War supports that statement. Everyone does a great job in their individual roles, which of course should be expected since these actors are the same ones from the past films. The performances are pretty great. And of course, since this is an Avengers movie, the action is amazing. It's top-notch and exhilarating. And since this is one of the most expensive movies of all time, you already know that the effects are amazing like always. As for the soundtrack, yeah, it's pretty forgettable. In conclusion, Avengers Infinity War is a good time. The plot is awesome, the characters behave naturally, Thanos is amazing, the action is great, and so is the CGI. However, that's not enough focus on what the Avengers are going through and how they're feeling, and the pacing is way too fast. However, Avengers Infinity War is still a great movie. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, then please like and subscribe, and as always, I will see you guys next time. Peace, everyone.